Drums, dreams, blood, sweat, and tears. Those words perfectly capture what the film Whiplash is about. However, if I had to give you one word that sums up our whole movie, it'd be insanity. This film follows the journey of our main character, Andrew. He's played by Miles Teller, and he does a great job of expressing all the emotions that Andrew went through the course of this film. Andrew dreams of being one of the greatest drummers ever. He's then approached by his soon-to-be mentor, Terrence Fletcher. Fletcher comes off stern and serious from his demeanor to the way he judged Andrew's fellow bandmates. Then he takes Andrew into his conservatory to be elevated into a better drummer than he currently is. However, Andrew soon finds out that all that glitters is not gold. I knew this was going to be a crazy jump once I heard one of these members shout out to the pianist, "Milk the cunt." Yes, you heard that right, ladies and gentlemen. Soon after, Fletcher, has these guys perform for Andrew what they've been working on. Then he hears that one of the band members is out of tune, so he's in pure frustration, keeps asking for them to bring themselves forward and own up to their mistake. After moving around the room like a shark in water full of blood, he lands on this one fat kid. That's important to note because of what comes next. Fletcher asks Fatty if he's out of tune multiple times, which he responds with silence. Eventually he says that he's out of tune and he gets berated like there's no tomorrow. He pretty much calls him a fat pig and says that, "I see your head was at a McDonald's as opposed to being on the pitch." Damn! He then yells super loud at the fat kid to get out. This kid is crying full on and runs out making a scene. Right after this, he says that he wasn't the person who was actually out of tune and mentioned who was in front of the entire class. But he says that since he couldn't tell that he was out of tune, he was as good as dead weighted. Yikes! Talk about harsh. And this is only the beginning, y'all. After all this, he starts to berate Andrew in a similar manner to the fat kid about his tempo and his drumming. This then starts a long spiral of Andrew going mad, trying to perfect his craft, having a blister on his hand from the excessive drumming, and even more. This bold nigga's crazy as hell. There was a scene when he brought up Andrew's mother and how she left him. Man, they would have had to kill me or put me in jail, otherwise his ass would have been done. Now while I say all this, I will admit that Andrew is kind of a dick, and he only becomes more of a dog the more the movie progresses on. They almost try to make you believe that he's this nice, innocent, and sweet kid at first. But a scene which helped eradicate this notion for me was when he was at dinner with his family. I can understand him being resentful about his family not being as attentive to him, talking about drumming and music. But for him to actively berate his cousin about how he's in the 3rd division of football was crazy. This was like a case of the bullied becoming the bully. I also like the scene of him asking out Nicole at the cinema early on. It's a shame that this was kind of ruined later on by his obsession, or rather madness, with getting better on the drums. Andrew gets pushed to his breaking points quite a lot throughout the course of this movie. A common phrase you can hear repeated by Fletcher is, "not my tempo," which can become traumatizing afterwards. Bro, there was a scene where he got in a car crash in a hurry, still rushed to a performance all bloody and everything, only to be rejected on account of them. Ain't that something? It's at this point in the movie that he's starting to face the consequences of his actions. These include berating his family, breaking Nicole's heart, and pushing everything else to the side for drumming to work out, only for it now to blow up in his face. I'm all for chasing your dreams, but this film does show you the darker side of it, which is that it's a lonely pursuit, and the only way you're making it through is if you truly love it through the good and the bad times. Despite Jeff Bezos being a crazy dictator, I do like how he pushes his students past their limits, even though the methods are very questionable. The last 10 to 15 minutes of the film is honestly one of the best scenes that I've seen in a while. While I've narrated on the vast majority of this movie, I would like to leave this open for you guys to experience blind on your first time. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know how this movie made you think and feel. Stay tuned for what else I put out and create, and this is Black Sugar Lovin', out.